Researchers at Oregon State University did a study where they filmed real job interviews and collected the evaluation of trained interviewers. They then shortened the videos of these interviews to 20-second clips to only show the candidate entering the room, greeting the interviewer, and sitting down. No Q&A, just the first impression. They then had other trained interviewers rate the candidates on the same criteria, but just from those 20-second clips. And get this, those who had only seen the 20-second clips gave near identical ratings to the interviewers who had done the entire interview. This study both terrifies me because it puts so much pressure on these first precious moments, but also excites me because that means if you can rock this first moment, then look out world, you're going to be unstoppable. In this video, we are going to break down how to have the best possible introduction in the job interview, and stay to the end because I'll give you the fail-proof framework of how to introduce yourself and say a bit about yourself no matter what type of professional you are at any level of experience. Oh, and how rude of me to not introduce myself. I'm Madeline Mann, if we have not met yet. I'm a human resources leader and job search strategist who turns job seekers into job shoppers. You may recognize me as a top job search coach, an instructor on LinkedIn Learning and Spotify, or you may have seen me on ABC, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, and more. Be sure you're subscribed to elevate your career. Let's jump right in. In your first moment in the interview, say something like, "Hi, I'm Madeline," or whatever your name is. And then follow it up with something positive like, "It's so good to meet you," or "I've been looking forward to chatting with you. How's your day going?" Make sure to say your name slowly so they can hear the pronunciation. Psychology studies show that it creates emotional distance and a subconscious awkwardness when someone feels like they don't remember how to say your name or even know what it is. That's why it's a good practice to give them some sort of a trick to remember it. Like, "I'm Janessa," it's like Vanessa with a J, or "My name is Anu," like a new friend. I'll give you more of the script of what to say as part of your introduction later in this video, but let's first dive into what makes a great first impression. First, smile. Even if you are on the phone, studies show that people can hear smiles. And not only can they hear smiles, but they can also hear when it's a fake smile. So be sure to be genuine. So before you go into an interview, get hyped, get smiling, read a funny meme, listen to a feel-good song, and even reclassifying the feeling of nervousness to excitement psychologically and physiologically can trick you into feeling more positive and excitable instead of anxious. Which brings us to tip number 2, be confident and interested. Interviewers immediately don't like people who radiate anxiety or any scrap of boredom. They instead gravitate towards confidence and you appearing interested and engaged. Take, for instance, these 2 examples. I was working in e-commerce, and now the past 4.5 years, I've been in the entertainment industry. I was working in e-commerce before, and then for the past 4 years, I've been working in the entertainment industry. Did you notice the differences there? I see so many job seekers speak like the first example because that's their more typical speaking register. They're relaxed people. But in an interview, it comes off as unsure and lacking interest in the company, which likely couldn't be farther from the truth. Also, did you notice my body language in that example? It brings us to number 3. Dial in your body language. You should take up space, have your shoulders back, make eye contact, and what you'll notice in the first example is that my body language was a bit closed off. I was slouching and I had fidgeting hands, which is one of the worst signs of nerves and lack of confidence. Keep your hands simply folded in front of you or gesturing reasonably, but don't be touching your hair, clothes, skin, things on the table. Not a good look. All right, so when you're making your first impression introducing yourself, you'll often be expected to answer the question, "Tell me about yourself," or something to that effect. I have linked a full worksheet for you to sketch out the perfect answer for that question, which I've gotten thousands of emails saying that this worksheet really helped crystallize their answer and make a confident first impression. Because here's the thing, this is the most common interview question, and the biggest mistake people tend to make is they take too long to answer it. Yes, if your answer to this question is longer than 2 minutes, so it is better to keep it closer to 60 seconds, you need to rethink your approach. The reason why they ask you this question is because they are usually context switching. They are coming from another interview or a meeting and could use your help to quickly get oriented to who you are as they take a gander at your resume. It will literally lose you the job if you take too long of a time to answer this question, because they not only see you as someone who rambles and doesn't have a concise communication style, but also they likely won't be able to ask all of the other important questions that they need to in the interview because they'll run out of time. This is a chance for you to tell them what kind of professional you are. If you're a career changer, you can quickly explain that career shift. If you're a student, you can explain what you studied and what organizations you were a part of. This then takes us to part 2 of the highlight reel, of where you'll share your accomplishments and what makes you qualified for the role, and wrap it up by talking about why this role you're interviewing for is the right next step in your career. Now, I do recommend using that worksheet where it has examples, it has more explanation, to really build out this answer and make it snappy. None of these 5-minute long answers, okay? You're better than that. Introducing yourself is step 1, but what should you do next? You should practice how to ace behavioral interview questions. And so I will link a video you need to watch to create your own story toolbox, which will completely revolutionize the way you interview. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel. You've got this Wi-Fi high five.